Right, so welcome back, and as you can see, we have got the photo etch finished. So we've got both floats done and both wingtip areas done. So we really are at a seminal point in the build, in that we're ready to get the wing onto the airframe. We've done all the seam work, done the pylon, we've done the underside, we've checked all the seams and the joints around the tail and the horizontal stabs. So to get the build push forward and to the point of paint, need to get the wing on. Some modelers, I think, have gone ahead and painted the wing and fuselage separate and then brought it together. But when you think about the fact that we've got to glue the center section, and we've got to glue on 4 struts, that leaves us with multiple points of possible touch-up or damage if the glue doesn't do what we want it to do, or we accidentally put too much glue on, or we dribble glue, or whatever. So I'm very keen to get it all together as a whole, get all the joints cleaned up after gluing, and paint it as a whole. So that's how I'm going to do it. Right, glues then. What am I going to use to glue it together? Well, I think obviously for the center section of the wing, I am going to use my Revell contactor. I can't seem to lay my eyes on my jar at the moment, but I do have some decanted into a Tamiya bottle. So we're going to use a mix of Revell contactor and Tamiya glue here, and then for the struts, I think we'll possibly be doing the same. Here we go, Revell contactor. It's actually really quite good modeling glue, and it works when you overbrush it with Tamiya extra thin. It really does grip and form a very good bond. So jobs to do before we glue. I need to clean the burring off the struts is the next job, and then I need to bite the bullet and glue the wing on. And then whilst the wing and struts are curing, we can then look at getting the canopy masks on and getting the interior of the canopy painted with the engine controls that's mounted on the roof of the canopy, as you'd see. And then also we need to look at doing the instrument panel and getting that in the kit before we put the canopy on. And we've also got to get the front nose canopy on and figure out how we're going to mask these rear blisters. So a little bit of work to do, but a lot of that work can be doing whilst the wing cures up. So what I'm going to do, I'll do it off camera because it'll be quick and easy, is I'll just quickly sort the burring out on the struts, and then we'll come back and we'll bite the bullet and commit to glue and start pushing ahead, getting the wing onto the fuselage. Right, so we're back, and I've cleaned up the struts and laid them out in the correct order they're supposed to go in. There's different fastening points at the ends, and the struts are different as well. The front 2 struts have this little square block on it here. That is for attaching the landing gear if these things were dragged out of the water. Excuse me, I'm going to sip of tea. So, here we go. Can't put this off anymore. Right, now, rather than putting the glue around the edges here and risk it squeezing out and causing damage to the wing surface, certainly I'll put glue here, because we really want to maximize the potential for adhesion, purely because it's a massive joint. we want it to stay where we put it, basically. So put plenty of glue here, and then what we'll do is we'll put the glue around the inside here, and that way we're pushing the pylon up into the glue, giving less opportunity for it to actually squeeze out and cause damage to the detail in the wing, because there is quite a lot of detail in here. Right, here we go. And this is going to be a challenge because this thing is huge. Just sorry, I'm knocking the camera. Here we go. Right, let me get myself sorted out. I cannot I'm going to have to do it off camera. Hold on. I'll get it squeezed in here. So basically, wing flat, fuselage down, and then squarely fit it in. And that's it. Right, it's in. Now, up until this point, the grip of the joint when you put the fuselage to the wing has been quite firm, but that's because it's a dry joint. When you put glue in, you almost, whilst the glue's liquid, it's not almost, you lubricate the joint, so it can slip out, so we need to be very careful of that. So just get the tamiya extra thin, and then just tap and flow around the joint edge. And all we're doing is helping it to do a bit of gap filling, and B, just to help cure up the Revell contactor. This thing's huge. So big. I would need a modelling desk twice the size really to accommodate this aircraft properly. However, just got to work with what I've got. Right, I am going to finish this off camera because it's got to be really boring watching me fight with it. We'll come back once I'm ready to go. Right, we're back. And oh, gee whiz, the size of this thing is huge. Right, so I will actually take a still photograph of this lying upside down on the cutting mat. I just cannot impress how big it is. But anyway, I think my decision of gluing the wing to the fuselage is the right decision. And the reason I say that is, if you can see here, we've got the white fogging of super glue. The fit of these spars or struts from the fuselage to the wing is actually quite poor. And I've had to go in with some super glue and kicker on both sides, both at the wing and the fuselage joint. I will take some photographs, stills, and put it up. But I've had to do that to start filling the gaps. There's some quite large gaps there, so it's actually quite unsightly. So if we'd actually painted this and then come to put it together, we'd be in trouble. There would be a lot of repair work to do, and you'd end up having to repaint it. So now we can get on and get all this finessed. So we'll get some Mr. Surfacer 500 in once it's had a chance to cure off as well. So we'll leave this for 24 hours. We'll get Mr. Surfacer in there, let that dry off, wipe it away with a cotton bud Q-tip until we're happy, and then we're at the stage we can seriously think about priming. In the meantime, we can get on and look at the cockpit and the control panel and the rear glazing. We've got the Edard pre-cut mask set, so we can get all the glazing done, and by the time we've done that and got the cockpit finished off, I'll have gotten these all cleaned up with Mr. Surfacer ready to prime and paint. But to say this is an amazing model is an understatement. It is huge. This is probably one of the biggest aircraft I've ever built. It's certainly the biggest 48 scale aircraft, and with the time and care I've taken into it so far, it's coming together really, really nicely. I'm actually quite impressed by how well it's come together. So there we are. Next job, finish the cockpit glazing, front glazing, rear glazing, and then we'll pretty much be on paint. So see you again soon.